Welcome back, folks. Season 2 of Netflix The Witcher is on the horizon, and because we started getting more news lately, I wanted to round everything up we know from before in one video so you can catch up on all the info, so let's get into it. Filming Season 2 was extremely difficult this year due to all of the complications COVID caused. Travel was banned in most countries, and when you have a show which films in various locations around the world, that becomes an even bigger challenge. First off, let's go with the story. With the last episode in Season 1, Ciri and Geralt finally find each other, and because Season 1 served as an introductory season, you can expect bigger character depth in this one, as they should explore it. Geralt is now taking Ciri to Kaer Morhen, his Witcher school, and there you will meet all of the familiar Witchers, those being Eskel, Lambert, Vesemir, Cohen, etc. Regarding the casting, Eskel is played by Basil Eidenbenz. Keep in mind the original casting for Eskel was Tue Ersted Rasmussen, which actually fit the role really well, but due to rescheduling caused by COVID-19, he had to leave the show. Personally, I am a bit skeptical on the recasting because Basil looks a little bit too young for Eskel, even though it's set in the past or well the books, he is still a bit young. But let's give a guy a chance, maybe he nails it. Now Lambert is going to be played by Paul Bullion, amazing casting, then Vesemir by Kim Bodnia, and Yassen Atur as Witcher Cohen. Cohen is actually from the school of the Griffin, and also he trained Ciri in the castle itself, but you will see that in the show. He is originally from Povis, so not from actual Kaer Morhen or originally being somewhere around it. Now this season is also supposed to toughen up Ciri. That means she will have to change herself in this world. So all of the teaching she had as a princess will be thrown into the water, and a tougher Ciri will emerge. Also, Nilfgaardian Empire will be a bigger threat in Season 2, especially now that you will have, well, a more streamlined story than in Season 1, where the timeline was a bit all over the place, and if you didn't know the story, it could confuse you. But again, the showrunner Lauren Schmidt said that those changes are made and Season 2 will still combine, short stories and the saga itself, especially a short story called A Grain of Truth, where one of the main characters of the story is Nivellen, an actual bear being played by Christopher Hivju, sadly only for one episode, but the casting itself, amazing. Of course, Triss Merigold and Yennefer will make a comeback, with Triss also being a bit more present in Kaer Morhen at first. That whole chemistry will be interesting. I just hope they add, Triss more depth. I don't mind the actress, but they need to pace her character a bit more. I was not happy with it in Season 1, and some changes definitely need to be made to just make the character a bit more present. Also, one of the biggest changes, and well, most requested, was the Nilfgaardian armor. It is finally replaced with a better one. Personally, I like it, but I mean, everything is an improvement from this. Overall, I'm glad they are listening to the fans and will work on the things that lacked in Season 1. And that's the thing with series, later seasons can be better, improved upon based on the feedback received from the community. And overall, the show is decent. It's important that some of the main casting was done right. Henry is great as Geralt, Jaskier was also portrayed really well by Joey Batey, and I can't wait to see those two reunite again. Regarding filming, even though the production was basically set on hold, it slowly resumed. And I mean, when you have Netflix money, it's easier to finish the actual filming and move to the post-production, which is done from studios. And because they also release digitally, there shouldn't be any problems with that stage. And I mean, there were problems, of course, due to one person being positive on set, they had to shut everything down. And as I said all the way in February last year, there was a potential for a delay, and there probably was a delay, an internal one, of course. Also, after all of that, once they reunited onto the set, Henry sustained an injury during a certain scene, but it wasn't anything alarming. These things can happen absolutely, especially when an actor is doing his own stunts. It's rare to see it, but I definitely applaud the commitment from Henry here. Keep one thing in mind as well, because The Witcher Season 1 was one of the most watched Netflix series ever, the company itself increased the budget, and that budget will obviously rise if the ratings stay the same or go up. And every show gains more and more viewers the longer it's out, well, majority of them do. Even Game of Thrones had the same, popularity rose with the later seasons as well as their budget so they could afford bigger battles, better CGI, larger sets, etc. The same thing can happen with The Witcher as well, especially with the amount of money Netflix is pumping into it. Also keep an eye out on Cahir this season. Even though they made him a lot darker character than he actually is, I still think Eamon did a nice job with him. Regarding new characters in the show, we will see Queen Meve of Lyria and Rivia. She will be played by Rebecca Hansen, and if you think Calante is badass, wait till you see Meve in action. She is also one of the most important characters regarding the title of Geralt being of Rivia. There is also a huge battle involved with the story, so I wonder how big Netflix is actually going to go and if they are going to portray this battle and what is going to happen. Regarding the release, right now Season 2 is planned to release sometimes in August, but take that with a grain of salt due to these delays and breaks in production. Again, Season 2 is definitely happening this year, but instead of August we could maybe see September or October. But hey, Netflix has the cash, so they can pump money to release it sometimes around August anyway. Due to the hyper-production today, shows like these can be made relatively fast, because once, let's say, you finish filming certain scenes and the edit begins, CGI is planned and added, which also allows different directors on the show to work on their episodes while others are being filmed. That's why usually shows have more directors. Regarding directors, the first 2 episodes will be directed by Stefan Zurich, who also worked on Umbrella Academy. Then Sarah O'Gorman, who will direct episode 3 and 4. Then Ed Bayalget for episode 5 and 8. And Geeta Patel will direct episodes 6 and 7. There are also reports of Jason Momoa being cast as one of the Witchers in Season 2, but still take that with a grain of salt until we can actually confirm him. But it's definitely possible. The only thing that can be a problem is scheduling, but that can be sorted out because I doubt Jason will play a huge role anyway. We also saw the new costume of Geralt of Rivia for Season 2 along with some redesigns for the wig. Could this be the image, but it looks a lot more natural than it did in the first season. There are also 2 spin-off series which are confirmed, that being Nightmare of the Wolf, which is an animated feature film which follows the story of Vesemir during his younger days, and The Witcher Blood Origin, which is a live-action 6-part limited series about the events leading up to the conjunction of spheres, which, well, is one of the most important events in the entire books and the universe and everywhere, because it brought monsters and magic and even humans onto the continent. But that happened ages ago, and I will do a proper lore video on that as we get closer to Season 2. Overall, this is everything we know about the Season 2 of The Witcher. I will keep you updated with the latest news, lore and analysis videos. Really excited to talk about this again. And tell me down below what are your expectations for the Season 2 of The Witcher. And also smash that like and subscribe button for more and join our growing community on Twitter and Discord. I also do have a Patreon page. If you are looking for an extra way to support the channel, you can do it through the link below, and huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.